Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've heard that intro and talk about my Oregon Ducks. Okay, let's get this started. Well, this year's Oregon Duck team should be a very interesting season, especially when you get Justin Herbert back on track. Now, the Oregon Ducks this year in recruiting have been phenomenal, And do you like how I see that Washington guy on the ground right there? I love it. Anyway, what do we expect from this Oregon Duck team? Well, what do we expect? Right now, the Oregon Ducks are favorite to win the Pac 12 right now. They're favorite to win the Pac 12 because of Justin Herbert probably coming back. Well, I have some concerns. And as a Duck fan, I love this team. But you guys gotta understand, in this channel, right now, I have to be very honest with all of you guys. I love this team. I really, really do. But I have some concerns right now. Well, as you could see from the man himself right about here, Justin Herbert, a concern. Here's why I say that. Justin Herbert on the road does not look like himself, in my opinion. In the first half, he just does not look like a player that is like one of the favorites to win the Heisman. He, to me, has got to make sure to step it up this year for Oregon. Now, look, I'm not saying he's a terrible QB, and obviously he's going to be one of the best ones for next year's draft. Not this one coming up, but next year. And it's going to be probably one of the best college players this year. And we look at this also schedule right about here for the Oregon Ducks. The first non-Pac 12 teams, Auburn, Nevada, and Montana. We look at that game. Oh, that one. Yeah, the first one. Auburn versus Oregon. Now, I think these two teams are actually going to be in the top 10, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but it's what they say. So we look at the schedule. What do I personally think about Oregon on this schedule? It's a tough call. The worst to me will be a 10-2 season. Their best, very best, obviously an undefeated season, but this team, I can't see this team really going to an undefeated season. I really can't. So I think really the Ducks will be 11-1. The big concerns of games after these non-Pac-12 teams, Stanford. We all remember the last time these two teams met. Oregon should have won. They should have won that game. But Oregon didn't. And Oregon has lost to Stanford now 3 straight. The last one was at Stanford with quarterback Vernon Adams. So really, it's not also just on Herbert to do that. It's also the defense. How are you going to stop their tight ends? Because really, their tight ends were one of the reasons why we lost that game. And Mario Cristobal's, I think, coaching has got to step up, especially on this team. It was good in the first half. In the second half, a lot of crap happened. These next 2 games, fine. Washington. Now, listen. I know many Oregon Duck fans hate Washington, and I'm one of them. God, I hate Washington too. I know many Oregon Duck fans who hate Washington. I know of many. Oh, for the Duck fans on this channel, you know who I'm talking about. I think we all know. But still, here's my problem. This Washington team has not lost a home game since USC, and that was when the year they went to the playoffs. So last 3 seasons, only 1 home loss. Now Washington will be a different team. But my main concern is, how are you going to beat them this time at their stadium? Now, they are a juggernaut in their own home stadium. They are an excellent defense still. But I personally just don't think Oregon can't beat them at their stadium. And look, it's not that. I know many people are probably already in the comments saying, "You suck, bandwagon. He's giving up on his team." Just listen. You know how hard it is to play at this Washington Stadium with the coaching staff they have. It's really hard. And then you also got Washington State. Now, we don't know what to expect from Washington State this year when it comes to Oregon. We really don't. Last year, no one saw Washington having 11 wins. They were not ranked in the beginning of the season because, one, they lost their QB during the draft, and, well, the one that committed suicide, and then they get a transfer quarterback, and guess what he did? He gave the Cougars the best season in Cougar history. But we all know what's going to happen. They're not going to win the Pac-12. I don't have them winning in the Pac-12. But Oregon has got to step it up on this time. Like Stanford, but they've lost 4 straight years of losing to Washington State. It's got to snap. You have home field advantage right about there. Then you got USC, should be a win. Arizona, I have no idea because of the blowout they gave us last year. Arizona State is going to try to get some revenge, but hopefully we can beat them this time. And then, Oregon State, I don't think I need to talk about that game. We all know why. Yeah. But still, there's so many concerns, especially with Mario Cristobal. Now, look, I like Mario. I really do. I truly think he's a good coach. But he cannot make any more mistakes this year. The Stanford game was a mistake. He's got to coach better right now at this moment because when you look at their schedule, again, 4 teams could win the Pac-12 North. And no, one of them's not named Oregon State. I don't even know what to expect from Cal. I don't think Cal's going to do anything this year. But still, though, okay, fine. Scratch Cal! We're going with Stanford, Washington State, and Washington. So those games will be probably the biggest games in the Pac-12 after you deal with Auburn and non-Pac-12 teams. Still, in the history so far in Oregon, since Chip Kelly, a coach in his second year has made to a college national championship. Do I think that's going to happen? Listen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's still a lot of concerns, not just from him or Justin Herbert. Also, this defense. What do we expect from the defense of Oregon? Well, they have gotten a lot of good defenders in the recruiting class. Right now, the recruiting class is ranked 7th. They're in the top 10. They were number 3 lots of times, though. So your recruiting is still doing well. You only got 1 5-star, and that's the problem right there. But I need to see more on the defense of Oregon right now. I mean, we all remember the Michigan State game in the Red Box Bowl. The defense played well, not the offense. And don't forget, they have a new defensive coordinator, so we don't know what to expect. He came from Boise State, and we have no idea what to expect. Now, personally, the only thing that I've been seeing so much information about this guy, and I'm not joking. I'm literally not joking. Every time I'm searching up his name, his biggest defensive coaching memories, the best one he's got, what's against Oregon in the Las Vegas Bowl. Like, I can't find anything else. I literally can't find anything else so significant about his defensive coaching besides that game. So there's some concern right there. if that's literally so far his best game, then how, of being the defensive coordinator, how in the world can I trust this guy? I mean, look, the defensive coordinator that we had is no longer on the team. So really, there's some concerns right about there I have. Also, the running game, to me, it's fine. I'm not, worried about the running game. I'm really not. But defense really has got to step up this year. Oregon this year has got to be at least in the top 20 in defensives. Top 20. And don't forget, though, Stanford, I know I'm coming back from Stanford game. Stanford does not have Bryce Love anymore. So they should be somewhat simple, right? You had a gigantic lead and you blew that, and yet you're saying it's going to be simple? No! No! And they did add a wide receiver from the transfer from Penn State. And I believe he was their number one wide receiver. And that's another thing about Herbert. Last year he trusted Mitchell too much. His best wide receiver. Mitchell was a great wide receiver, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But still, Herbert has got to realize he's got other wide receivers. Juwan Johnson is a good wide receiver. But my God, Herbert relies on the number one wide receiver too much. When Mitchell was with us, he relied on him too much, even when he was triple covered. He's got to realize there's other wide receivers he can trust, and he's got running backs that can catch the ball. So really, this year's Oregon team, what do I personally think? I think they'll go 11-1 this year. College football playoffs, it's a maybe. Because I'm going to be honest with you, at this point, the Pac-12 needs Oregon to get back into the college football playoffs. Because Washington hasn't done anything so far in the last several years now. Even in that playoff appearance they didn't do anything. They really didn't. Washington State has done nothing. USC didn't do anything, and so far the Pac-12 really just needs Oregon to get back in there. Do I think they'll make it? Well, it depends. Do we trust this Oregon team to get there over teams like Oklahoma? And their defense is god-awful, but we'll see what Jalen will do for the QB position. Even though I don't think he's a good QB at all. I think Oklahoma personally will have a 3 or 2 loss season. What's teams like LSU going to be, or Georgia? How are they going to get there when they got to play Bama? Or how about teams like Texas? What's Texas going to be this year? Teams like Notre Dame, to me, should not even be considered to be in there. There's no way I would put them. Do I think Oregon make it? It depends on how the remaining schedule. The only way I think Oregon can personally make it is if, I'm going to say that, is only if they have one loss or undefeated season to make the college football playoffs. That is really the only thing that will take a Pac-12 team to get in there. It may not be that easy, especially when you're trying to go an undefeated or one-loss season in the Pac-12 conference. They haven't had that since Washington. Look, they've had an 11-win team, but guess what? That 11-win team had 2 losses? They lost to USC and Washington, and last year's Washington State Cougar team was the best team to probably get there. Not Washington, not Utah. That's another thing. Who do they play if they make the Pac-12 title? Because to me, I got Utah getting back in there. I personally think Utah will be back in the Pac-12 title. I love this Oregon Duck team, and I like what the process they've been doing. I think Mario has done a phenomenal job in recruiting and coaching. But when the big games are happening, He's got to step up his coaching, and Justin Herbert has got to step up being an entire great QB and not a second half QB or a first half QB. He can't be like that. I mean, like in the Stanford game, Herbert looks different. Or what about the Washington State game? First half, terrible. Second half, oh my God, this guy's now amazing. But they still lost by 2 touchdowns. Or what about the Utah game? First half, terrible. Second half, fantastic. He cannot have that. He cannot let him. He can't. Sorry, I'm trying to speak still. He can't allow that to happen to himself. And the defense has got to step up. Do I think this defense here will be good? Probably. But they got to be in the top 20. Top 20. That's how what's going to take. And really, and finally, those jersey numbers are terrible. I did it for the old time's sake right there. But seriously, though, I'm not joking. I want a new jersey. Can we please bring back the ones that we had in Vernon Adams, Mariota, please? Not these ones. I mean, my God, those are gigantic numbers. I love how that has nothing to do with this, but I had to say it. I had to say it. Sorry. But what are your guys' expectations for Oregon this year? To me, those Mario Cristobal's coaching staff, because of the new defensive coordinator, Justin Herbert's got to be a better QB than he ever has before, and in the biggest games. And their defense. Running everything is fine. The wide receiver core, I think it's fine. Herbert's got to trust another wide receiver. So those are my main concerns. What are your main concerns for Oregon this year, and how do you think they will be, and what their record will be this year? And do you have them making the Pac-12 title like I do? Do I have them winning it? It depends on who they play. Do I think they can beat Utah? It's a maybe. USC, definitely. UCLA, sure. Colorado, they suck. Arizona State, maybe. Arizona, sure. But I can speak. Let me know in the comments down below what are your thoughts of Oregon coming up this year. Leave a comment down below. I already said that. Gosh darn it. Anyway, this is TJ TV. Thank you for signing off. And okay, go Ducks. And one more thing to say. And you're going to love it. But not by me. To a good subscriber of mine. And that's how we're going to end this video. Let's listen in.
Look, man, you got people out here thinking that Oregon State is going to beat Oregon. What the? Oregon State is trash, okay?